Hello everybody, and welcome back to our channel, Two Brothers Outdoors. I'm Rick. Tim's at work. Never heard that one before, have you? Today, we're going to be working on the sawmill for a little while. I had to close the windows in the mill. 2 days ago, we had 94 degrees. Today, we're at 55 degrees. Is that crazy or what? We are getting a little bit of rain. We've had an inch of rain so far. We are in desperate need of rain. Today I'm going to work on the mill for a little while. I built this third dog right here. When I bought this mill, I bought an extra section of track, and I got a discount on the track if I didn't get the dog system in that section of track. I built my own dog, and this third dog only comes in handy when I got something really short. If I'm cutting something 12, 14, 17 foot long, these two dogs will hold it without a problem. But if I have a short log and I need these two dogs close together, that's why I built the third dog. This piece right here, the log stop, is shorter than those and it's not as beefy. So today we're going to beef this up. And then I'm going to do a few different things on the mill, or at least try. We did a quarter saw on a big ash the other day, and there was a couple of things on the mill that I saw that I need to change. I'll show you if you want to come along with me real quick, and then we'll get busy. Well, we've got deer all over the place out here. I got one here, there's two back here in the woods, and two just went down over the bank there. And I can't see it right now, but I got one right there between the two chicken coops. I've got right now 7 deer standing out here watching me work. I don't know if you can see the one there between the chicken coops. Let me zoom in right there. You can see her right in between the coops. Right there. No fear of us whatsoever. Alright guys, so let me try to explain to you what we did. Now, this mill right here is capable of doing a 30-inch log. The ash that we quarter sawed the other day was only 28 inches. Well, what happened is you cut the log in half and then half again, quarter it. Well, when I stood the log up to do the second cut through the pith, these shrouds on these mills, they don't get in the way. You know, some mills or shrouds come down like this. So what that shroud is doing when it comes down like this is it's protecting that drive belt back there. So looking at it from the back side, the hud-son shrouds are well out of the way of any log that comes within this square area here of the throat and the blade. But the problem is this drive belt hit the corner of that log and it peeled the belt right off, which I've done before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a idler pulley here, so that belt goes this way around the idler pulley and then around the drive pulley. That'll get this belt out of the way of the square. The second thing is this bracket right here also ran into the log. Oops, what happened to the bracket? So we cut that bracket off, and you can see there's another bracket there. Well, these brackets, if you're cutting a round log, that belt and these brackets don't get in the way. But when you're quarter sawing and you have the flat face of the log up like this, even though it's a 28-inch log, the corner of that log hits the belt, hit this bracket. So I cut that bracket off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bracket up here instead of having it low. I'm going to have it up here. It'll do the same type of structure support, although I'm not so sure we even need it. I had no problem with the mill rocking or twisting or anything with this out of there, but I'm going to put it back in, but I'm going to put it back in on the upper part of the structure. So that's what we got planned to do today. So come on along with us while we do some welding and some remanufacturing. Is it remanufacturing or is it modifications? I don't know, either way. Alright guys, so what I did is I'm not only beefing this up, I'm also going to make it even with these other two log stops. I stretched the string between that log stop and this one. I'm going to attach it to the mill so I can pull it straight, because if I tighten the string between this one wants to collapse. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of this nice angle iron we have right here, and we're going to add this onto here to get not only this even with those, beef this up, and this will give us quite a wide edge for the cant to roll against. So I got to do a little bit of grinding, get some paint off of here, a little bit of rust off of here, and then we're going to weld it, check it, and then put some welds on it so it'll be a little more permanent. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take this digital protractor and I'm going to put it on here, and I'm going to zero it, which it's like 4/1000ths of an inch off, but I'm going to zero it anyway. Okay, we're going to stick it on this. My God, I'm good. That is 00. Zeroed right to that one right there. I'm going to tighten up this little C-clamp right here. We will take this off, get it out of the way, and we're going to tack weld this in place, and then we'll weld it. That's going to work perfect right there. I am very, very satisfied with that. Alright, there's project number 1 done. Boy, that's nice and solid too. That's going to make a good log stop. Take a look at project number 2, putting that bracket back on the mill. Alright, this is going to be pretty simple right here. Just a matter of dressing this up a little bit, getting the paint off. Hud-son powder coats everything, and I tell you, that's a tough paint job. And guys, I've been a welder for many years. You see this little welder right here? I've been shot at these welders for so many years, and I'm going to tell you what, you're wondering if I can get a quality weld out of this little unit? You have no idea. This is one of the greatest things I've ever found. This thing is so small, so light, and I can run it off my 3,000 watt generator without a problem. Alright, so all I need to do is get me some black paint, which I have plenty of. I'm happy with this so far. Take a look at these welds. This little welder right here is amazing. Does such a nice job. Alright, so the only thing we have left is I have to adapt this idler pulley to that to get that belt up and away from that opening right there. Thankfully, working on trucks for 37 years, every time I replace one of these idler pulleys because the tensioner spring was bad in the assembly, I saved the pulley. I've got probably 20 of these laying around, And this is going to be just exactly what I need for this. Alright guys, this next step is going to be a little more tricky. I'm going to have to drill some holes in this frame right here and put the tensioner here to get this belt up out of this square. So what I'm going to have to do right now is I'm going to have to loosen up these bolts, slide the motor over as far as I can, and get as much slack in that belt as I can. Oh boy, that's a lot of slack right there. That makes a big difference right there, buddy. That'll make a big difference right there. Alright, so this is the tensioner I came up with. And what we got is you'll put a bolt through here. And then there's a bolt that slides here. And you can put a 1/2 inch drive ratchet right there to tighten and loosen it. The belt. If I get this correct. A lot of fun with the Hud-son people at Boonville this past weekend. They have a completely redesigned mill that I guess you could call it an entry-level mill, but it's the HFE 33. That'll cut up to a 33-inch log, and I think this mill is probably one of the nicest redesigned mills that I've seen. They have put a lot of thought and effort into this mill. So if you want a mill that's not super heavy duty and commercial, and you want to get into a mill for between $6,000 and $8,000, this is going to be a nice mill for you. I was so impressed with the redesign of this mill. They did away with the HFE 30 and the 36, and they came out with an HFE 28 and an HFE 33. And I was really, really impressed with the rebuild of this mill. This is a totally new mill, and they've done an excellent job. They've done an excellent job of engineering this mill. Check it out at Hud-son. I think you like what you see, and I think you're going to like the price of it. All right, so I'm going to mark this to drill a hole. This is going to work out really well. Alright guys, that is going to get that belt out of the way of the wood. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start this up, make sure the belt stays on going across that idler pulley tensioner. And if it does, then we have been successful. Alright guys, let's test it out, see what it's going to do. It appears everything has been a success today, from the modification on the log stop to the modifications on the mill. Everything looks good. I think we're good to go. So we're going to leave this one right here. Tim will be home in a few minutes. We're going to saw up a couple logs tonight. So if you guys got any questions of any modifications we're doing or how we do something, contact us on twobrotheroutdoors@yahoo.com. That's twobrotheroutdoors@yahoo.com. And we will explain to you any modifications that we've done, show you pictures of them, at least to the best of our ability. Alright guys, thanks for coming along with us. And until the next one, we will catch you later. And as Tim would say, bye-bye now. And as Tilly would say, alright guys, thanks for coming along. Hit that subscription button if you're not already subscribed.